We live, we live. Peace, 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 peace to the family. Welcome back to the Mossi Warrior Clan YouTube channel. We want to welcome you all to the show today. My brother ENU-ONA, Shawn Khalfani, got a nice presentation. But y'all, I want to say, Igum Majube Ibeji, Igum Kiki, Igungun. I always have to give honor and praises to the ancestors, because again, without the ancestors, we wouldn't be here. I'm gonna click the screen onto my brother Shawn real quick, and please share the show, like the show, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Also, please subscribe to the channel, the Mossi Warrior Clan YouTube channel, as well as the Mossi Warrior like page. I'm gonna put the screen on Shawn.
Hold on, we can let Panther in the building, man. Panther, you got something you want to say?
I don't know if I should say anything. You know, COVID might.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
You sure? I don't know, man. I don't know if I want to say anything because hopefully be fine and stuff to hate on. Good. Nah, man. What's going on? Good people, good family. Lafayette Mandela, baby Fahoudier. Just checking in, just checking out what y'all brothers got to bring to the table, man. Speaking on a topic that a lot of people might not know about if you don't study Ifa, or you don't know about the high twin rate in Nigeria. But Ebeji is a type of an Orisha that deals with the energy of twins. Not very popular in the diaspora, but very popular in Africa. So let's get it in. I'm anxious to see what you got.
Yes, sir. I think my screen sharing, Kofi. Let me know if you can see it.
Hold on, I had it locked on Brother Ben. Hold on, let me lock it on you. All right, it's locked on you.
All right, so I just want to thank everybody for tuning in today, man. I know that we took a week off, unfortunately, but we back. We back in the saddle, and we're going to get into this particular presentation. So, like the show, share the show, thumb it up or down, whichever one you want to do is okay. Now that you can see my screen, I'm gonna go ahead and get into it. We're gonna rock and roll, man. So thanks to everybody tuned in today.
Yeah, 37 looking, 37 in the chat.
Okay, yeah. Thumb the show up, man, or thumb it down. We ready to rock and roll. As soon as my presentation come up, of course. I didn't want to start it because my intro is very unique. So just pay attention to the presentation, and we'll get it in. We're gonna uncover some stuff.
Ayami oja láti Ibeji, Egbé ẹwà o. Ẹ kú wẹ̀jìrẹ́ o. Ìyá Ebeji àti bàbá Ebeji.
That song is actually dedicated to the Ebeji. It is sung very often in Nigeria. Now, to also add to that, twins are very unique in the culture. And by the time we get through with this, you should learn a few things. But I do want to also mention, because I did not put it in the presentation for a reason, is they also have a soup that they actually feed the shrine and the females and the males. That this soup is something that they make and they eat, and it kind of helps with this notion of twins that floats around Nigeria. Anybody want to say anything before we kick it off?
Black African power to the family, brother Ben.
Hey, what's going on there, brother?
was good. The whole crew, my main man, was good.
I'm on the panel, brother Unc. I want to be acknowledged.
I just spoke to you.
Y'all just do me bad, man. I see y'all. I see.
I just spoke.
He said
You
the
see how
whole
you is,
crew.
yo? See how you is? See how you is, Kofi? You ain't even give me a chance. I said my main man, and you cut me off.
Oh, my bad. My bad.
Boy, Kofi
See,
on
let me
one,
see
boy.
Kofi. See how you did it?
Kofi
You
on one.
messed up a
I don't
marvelous
know what's going
introduction.
on with Kofi. He on one. You can't do nothing right around Kofi.
You ain't lying, boy. Shit. We almost got a full house. We get some more people on here. We have a full house.
Yeah, buddy. Yep.
Right.
Y'all ready to rock?
Ready to rock. Let's go, Shawn. Let's rock. After I almost died on the Hebrew, Joe, almost died on that one. I'm officially done on the Hebrew.
Yeah, we heard about you over there.
God, I just sunk, yo. I ain't even had a heart. I couldn't.
You had the old school 6-hour show over there. We heard about you.
Man, I tried, man. I can't even do it, yo. I can't do the Hebrew shuffle. Yo definitely defeated us. You got it, yo. Fuck it. Oh, excuse my language.
In the case of twins, the spirit double has been born on earth. Since there is no way of telling which is a heavenly being and which is the mortal, both are treated as sacred from birth. As one 45-year-old man from Ibadan commented, we do not think of each twin as having its own spiritual counterpart in heaven. They are the counterparts of each other. Thus, everything that is done for one must be done for the other. Let's go to war. From ancient times, the Oya Yoruba and some related ethnic groups have believed that twins were superhuman beings. They were formerly considered the spirit, forest children of the Idun Columbus monkey. This connection assured that taboo status, the birth of the twins, was a bad omen. In fact, the establishment of the adoration of twins was a reversal of the practice of twin infecticide, which was the customary way of dealing with the unwanted spirit children. The Yoruba believed that the birth of twins was a sign that the mother was guilty of irregular sexual relations with spirits. The Yoruba could not understand how a woman could give birth to 2 or more children, since a woman was a human being and not a wild or domesticated animal. When twins were born to the Yoruba, they employed one of the 3 options in order to neutralize the effects of the ill omen and to remedy this unfortunate occurrence. They either kill one of the twins, kill both of the twins, or kill both of the twins and the mother. The father shared no blame. A further extension of his practice was the denial by the Yoruba of the fact that they ever gave birth to twins in the first place. This denial has even more importance when one recognizes that the Yoruba, as a people, have the highest incidence of twin births in the world. It should be pointed out that twin infanticide was not universally practiced by all the Yoruba. We can only wonder at the feelings of those millions of Yoruba mothers from time immemorial, giving birth to twins that were cursed and doomed by a custom that was later found untrue, impractical, and destructive. This is just an image art I posted up of the twins and the Ebeji alongside of them. Now, this policy of twin infanticide was eventually reversed by royal proclamation. As female power grew, we assumed that more pressure was brought to bear on those in control, so that the persecution of innocent women and children would be brought to an end. There are two versions as to how this change came about. Both are based on the idea that a Yoruba ruler had twin children and lifted the prohibition against them. Historical studies suggest that the Alafin Ajaka, who was Sango's older brother, abolished this policy during his second reign in the 12th century. The philosophical history, however, indicates that a wife of Sango, fourth Alafin of Oya, gave birth to the first set of twins to be saved, which is why the Ibeji are called the children of Sango. A tragic custom was finally brought to an end, and woe was turned to glee.
Hey, yo. Gotta stop your
Go ahead.
Big bro. Can't let you keep going saying Sango. When you see a S,
I'm sorry, sir.
More than likely it's an SH sound. So it's Shango. It's just like with Oshun, it's Oshun. Just like in other Orishas, it's a sh sound. Because I know it's gonna be some practitioners gonna beat you up in the comments. Can't let you go out like that.
Right.
Like, you ain't say nothing. You was right on the panel. Okay, I'm saying something, so y'all don't beat me up either.
The association of Ebeji with Shango is quite logical. Shango was said to have been a twin. The birth of twins is considered an extraordinary event brought about by God through the potency of the twins' father. As an Orisha connected with promoting human fertility and the elephant of Oya, Shango is perfect father, divine twin royal children. Now, this change in the way Yoruba society began to view the birth of twins was thereafter expressed in the deification of twins and the development of the Orisha Ibeji devotion. Rituals concerning Ebeji developed and evolved from the idea that God had cleaved one person physically and spiritually into two, or to, in this instance, toe, as the quote says. This phenomenon was viewed as a miracle, and twins were felt to be especially blessed by God as divine beings. Now, we're about to get into the Orisha Ebeji. In this image, you see the sister holding up two carved Ebeji. One represents male. I don't know if you can see it too well on your screen. The other one is female. Or it could, sometimes the Ebeji could be two male, but usually it's a representative of the two, a male and a female, that you will see in art. Now, Ebeji, born two, or some say born twice, is represented by the phenomenon of twinning. The name Ebeji translates to give birth to two. The fact of Ebeji has both social and philosophical implications in Yoruba society and is based in two related phenomena. First, there's the wondrous birth of human twins and its meaning to the practical care response of the community at large, and second, the development of an Ebeji ideology as a source of religious contemplation. Ebeji represents all special birth children. What is the functions of the Ebeji? The Ebeji makes concrete the idea of the cleaved spirit, of the mirror image of one spirit that inhabits and animates two, sometimes identical bodies. Ebeji represents the duality of man. They represent the idea that man is made up of two opposing yet complementary forces or poles, which we can label as constructive and destructive or positive and negative. Ebeji are night and day, left and right, up and down, in and out. Egbé and Ebeji are both associated with children and guarding the home. Egbé forces two opposing forces to work together in harmony or suffer the consequences. Ebeji is the visible incarnation of two working in harmony as one. Now, Ebeji is a symbolic of the spirit that connects all the things that people conceive of as different, but which are in reality the same. For example, life and death, existence, man and woman, human beings, right and left, direction, youth and maturity, age, and so forth. The Ebeji also represents the two sides of living, wealth and poverty. They have the power to impoverish a person if they are unhappy or to give a poor person wealth. Yoruba mothers who have given birth to twins have the right to go out into the town every 5th day to dance and beg, demand alms to help raise and support the twins. The mother is given presents and money, thus ensuring the funds needed to raise her blessed too, and increasing the wealth of the family. The birth of the children in agrarian societies has always been a symbol of wealth. They are a divine gift from God, which represents good fortune and the elevation of the status of the mother and family. The town members being enjoined to help support these children is an added bonus. There are great agrarian associations of more children with more hands to work, greater land holdings, producing greater wealth, all foster the connection of twins with wealth.
ọmọ wọlé alákẹsà ọ̀sà alákẹsà dà lásán ìwú mi àbíorí àbíolúkú táyé olókun àlàbí ẹrẹkẹ. táyé kọyìn o ìjì yìí làbọ ọmọ Adégbọlájà ti ṣe orí gírékèrékè fún mi kí n bẹ̀rẹ̀ léyìí tí mi kí n padà lẹ́yìn ẹ.
Twins are regarded as special beings.
Among the Africans too, Yoruba happen to be the highest grade of number of people that have twins in their population.
Some people say they are oracle. Let me say it again, but they are Orisha.
We believe that they possess the power to the extent that you cannot cheat on twins and go scot-free like we do to any other type of being in this society.
I believe they bring good luck to the family.
To some, they are a gift. To some, a burden. But to the world, they are a wonder for the world to marvel at. Ibeji.
Now, according to Henry and Margaret Drew, references to twinning and Gelede do not indicate a direct or formal link with coat twins, yet they do tend to support our hypothesis of the 18th century Gelede origins among Ketu peoples. As we have seen, their hypothesis rests on 2 points. One, the succession dispute in Ketu that led one of the twins to establish a new dynasty in Elebu, well, Ben can correct me, where Gelede was founded, and 2, the assumption that twin infecticide stopped in Yoruba land in the 18th century, which from a review of available data seems to late at a date for origin of the Gelede. If you remember the Gelede presentation, I actually spoke to a little bit of twinning in regard to that in the story that I told about the 2 brothers fighting over a particular territory, one leaving only to create something to come back and use against his brother, and then later to come back and then they join forces or whatever. But to move forward, at any rate, given the additional facts now adduced linking Gelede with spirit children, including twins, the parallels are too close to be coincidental. All right, so Yoruba, Nigeria, a pair of twin figures, Ebeji, 2 pieces, female and male style, okay? Twins are considered special at the Yoruba in Nigeria. They are worshipped in their own cult and bring blessings to their families. The special feature, the Yoruba believe that twins have only one common soul. So if a twin dies, the surviving twin has only half a soul. Therefore, for him, a representative figure must be carved so that his soul is complete again. This little sculptures are called Ibeji and treated as if they were living twins. They are washed, fed, caressed, sung, sacrificed, placed on special house altars, etc. Over time, many different styles of these miniature sculptures have developed in the area of Yoruba, southwest Nigeria. Present Ebeji couples in from the vicinity of Abiku in the southwest of the Yoruba area. This shows the typical Abiku style with this high round comb hairstyle. Both figures have ornamental scars on the forehead and cheeks. They both stand on rounded rectangular floor slabs. The man wears a skirt as has a crack at the front of the body as well as minimum breaks at the top of the hairstyle, as you can see it. The female is in perfect condition, of course. Now, according to the Yoruba ontology of being, every living person has a heavenly comrade or a spirit double. In Ikiji, the association of heavenly comrades is called Ekbarun or Egbé Agba. Before being born, an individual enters into an accord with his or her spirit double, i.e., to live on earth for a specified period, engage in certain occupations, obey certain taboos, and so on. The Abiku are those who promise to stay on earth for a short period and who must return at the appointed time. Otherwise, their heavenly comrades or spirit doubles will harass them. Unfortunately, an individual on being born forgets all about the accord, but so long as the contract is honored, there will be harmony between the earthly and heavenly pair. Offending one's spirit double or heavenly comrade may cause it to withdraw its spiritual protection. In Yoruba religion, the individual usually venerates the spirit double through the worship of his or her own ori, inner head, although it may be pacified separately during crisis periods. Women who worship the spirit double as a special divinity, Egbé Agba, are often suspected or manipulated for evil purposes. For if alienated from the spirit double that otherwise provides spiritual protection, an individual succumbs easily to witchcraft. Twins are called Ijire, the intimate two, because they are difficult to put asunder. Of all the spirit children, twins are the most respected and honored, being regarded as the favorites of Iya and the proteges of the Orisha, most especially the Egungun and Shango, all of whom they could influence on behalf of their parents or the individual who treats them well. Ire, Ebeji, Yoruba, Nigeria, carved wood with attached personal ornaments, including glasses and girdles, and strings of cowries attached from the wrist 25 centimeters. This is this piece here. These pieces here are held in the National Museum of Scotland. Now you should ask yourself, why would Ebeji, why would these items even be in Scotland, Russia, China, Australia, and so forth? Since twins are two human vessels that carry halves of the same spirit, great effort is made to ensure that togetherness, happiness, and continued existence here. Believe that or vessels in which. Therefore, when either one of both the twin dies, a wooden doll is carved to represent the corporal reality of the departed twins. The doll is given the same care with the surviving twin receives. It is dressed identically, fed the same herbal medicines, and adorned with the same jewelry. Now, I mentioned this earlier, but I am mentioning it again for a reason. They really do feed the Ebeji. This is done to ensure the containment of the spirit of the departed twin and to prevent the death of the living twin. The Yoruba believe that if the spirit of the departed twin is not provided for, it will become unhappy with its unattended conditions and will begin calling the spirit of the living twin, coaxing it to come and join it in the play in the spirit world. In order to further avert the death of the living twin, our role, Sawawo, if I said that right, brass anklets with bells, are attached to his ankles to jingle and ward off the departed spirit and his gang of Abiku, or born to die spirits. Just as beginnings and endings are twins, there are twin types of time. Igba ti Orun imi, ati Igba ti ile eu, enia, celestial time, spirit, and terrestrial time, human. There are no endings, just internal beginnings. The Ebeji are the protectors of the home and the watchdogs of the Orisha priests. Everybody may not be familiar with this image, but this image right here was made public and went viral, actually. You have three sets of twins here. You have the twin brothers who married twin women, and they had, they had babies. So here we have this relationship pattern is actually going on. Now it should be 4 kids, but apparently each one of them didn't have a twin. They just actually had a single. Now I don't know if they got twins somewhere else. I'm just saying. But this image was in plenty of magazines and also spread across social media and ran rampant. All right, so here are my sources and picture references. So any image that I actually share, I also will share the source image. And some pretty good information that you can get about a few of the books that I have, and so on and so forth. You can pause the video and get back to that if you want to. Kofi, where you at? Ben, where you at?
I'm right here, man. Give me 5 minutes till I get to the house and get to the Wi-Fi because I'm about to go through a bad area. But yeah, I want to touch on a couple of those topics because it's important to emphasize some of the things that you said, and I want to make sure that the people get exactly the concept behind what you said. So give me about 5 minutes.
Okay.
I'm about 5 minutes from the house.
All right, Kofi, it's on you, man. Let the people know what's up.
What's happening, man? No, I just want to say, man, that was a great presentation. I don't know too much about. I didn't know a whole lot about the twins in Nigeria. I just learned a few things. I didn't know that it was considered bad or they had relationships with the spirit. So I just learned a lot. I hope the family learned a lot. While Ben while Ben is on his way to the house, I just want to share this. I'm gonna share this real quick. It's just something that we got going on today, this afternoon. Shoot, hold on. Am my screen sharing? Is my screen sharing, Shawn?
Tilson.
All right. Hold on. Dang, I should have exited off something. I hope y'all don't see something on here. I don't want y'all to see I'm working on something. Hold on. Dang, I might have to click on it too. Shoot. Hold on.
Hey, man, what you doing, man? You said that like you got some porn going on over there.
Nah, it was. Well, I mean, it's the presentation I'm doing on circumcision. I was working on a few little things. I ain't want nobody to see what I had.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but no, just real quick, man. About a month ago, we said that we do something every week on the Mossi Warrior Clan, so we just trying to bring y'all a treat.
You have to stop sharing and take it off the screen. It's still locked on me, bro.
Oh, okay. Shoot, hold on, y'all. I thought I had. All right, hold on. Stop presenting. Stop sharing screen. All right. Let me take it off of you. All right. Let me go back in real quick.
Okay, yeah, it's on you.
All right.
Hold on. Click on your icon. Okay, there you go. All right, it's on YouTube now. You good?
All right. It's something real quick, man. Just but like I was saying, man, we had said about a month ago that we just trying to keep our word. We do something every week on the Mossi Warrior Clan, and so we said we was gonna try to give you a treat, do something on the Mossi Warrior Clan at 2, and try to give you something on Kofi Paisai TV at 6. And so far, we have kept our word. We have been doing it for a month. We said we're gonna try to do it for the next 2 months. If it develop into something else, where after the Mossi, continuation of Kofi Paisai TV at 6 o'clock. But for the next 2 months, I'm determined to give y'all information. After that, so those that may not know, if you missed the presentation that Satep and Ra Amen did on the Battle of Kadesh, that was the first presentation. Go check that presentation. That was his first presentation. Go check that out. A week after that, seeing Shawn did an excellent presentation on the myths, and he did a presentation, and me, Shawn, and Asab had a nice build after his presentations on the myth and going a little deeper and further into the myths and the cosmology. So go check that out. The following week after that, which was last week, I did a presentation on African hair. If you hadn't checked that presentation out, please go check that presentation out. That was a nice presentation, gave you a better understanding of our hair in Africa, the styles, how they identified themselves with the different hairstyles, how the hair is connected to the divine and connected to your spirituality, how important it is. So please, if you hadn't checked out that video, please go check out Africa's hair. I think it's maybe like an hour, a little bit over an hour presentation. Go check that out. This week we got what I got up on my screen right now, Afro Americans Ignorant and National Origin by Okufumu Nuku Apim. I might be saying the brother name wrong. Y'all formerly know him as Panda Hesse. That's what I know him as, Panda Hesse. So he's going to be doing a nice presentation today at 6 o'clock. So tune in at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time to check out my brother presentation. September, I think, is up the week after next. The week after that, I'm going to come and do a presentation on the griots. So I'll give y'all a better understanding of the griots. If you want information on the griots now, you can go to our Mossi Warrior like page. I got information. I think I got 2 posts up on the griots. One specifically dealing with the griots, and another one dealing with the griots being musicians and the instruments that the griots use. So go check that out. But tune in at 6 p.m. And like I said, for the next month, we're gonna go in on Kofi Paisai TV after the Mossi Warrior Clan. So that's all I had, man. I want to make sure I throw that up there real quick. Let me go back, take it off my screen, sharing. It don't stop screen sharing, huh?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Back. I'm on. And made it in the house. Okay. Y'all can hear me all right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me read this little passage of information I got. You spoke on the Ebeji having the highest rate in the world, or the twins coming out of Nigeria, and that is 4.4% for the people. So that's the highest number that has been recorded. And they said it's so high because of the natural because they consume yams at a very high rate. And yams have natural phytoestrogen in them, which scientists say may stimulate the ovaries to release an egg from each side. So this is a hypothesis of why the Nigerian people have so many twins. So I'm glad you read all of the history because it used to be a bad thing. Fortunately, they switched it up, realizing that was foolish. and deified this common occurrence. Now, Ibeji are known to bring good fortune, health, happiness to their families. So it's a blessing now. The mothers of the twins are usually, they're honored in society, especially in the Gelede festival, which is really like their version of Mother's Day. But if you have twins in the Gelede festival, you're very much honored. Like you were talking about, if one of the twins dies, they do carve a carving of the other twin, an Ibeji figurine, and it is treated like it is a living spirit. And that is its connection with Egbé, which I'll go into in a little bit. But the firstborn twin, whether it be a boy or a girl, is called Taiwo, which means having the first taste of the world. Whereas the second is called Kinde. This word means arriving after the other. So Taiwo, although he was born first, he's considered the younger twin. His senior Kinde is supposed to send out his partner to see what the outside world looks like. As soon as Taiwo has given a signal by crying, Kinde will follow. So that's in their mythology. Kinde is supposed to be the more careful, intelligent, more reflective twin, while Taiwo is believed to be more curious, adventurous, and nonchalant. On the third day after the birth of the twins, a visit is paid by a Babalao or an Ifa priest in Awo to the parents through interpretation of divination. He is able to drive out what negative energy may be around the twins, because not only do they have high twin rates, they also have high mortality rates. So this ritual is to try to negate that. So the Babalao communicates to the mother a series of instructions on the twins throughout that they will need throughout their life. What colors they should wear, what colors they should avoid, which food, all their taboos, animals, everything like that, which is common in Ifa tradition, but it's just doing it for the twins now. So,
Brother,
go ahead, brother.
I was just gonna ask a question when you mentioned divination with both for the twins.
Mm-hmm.
Do the Baba Luau, do he do a separate divination system for the? Oh, he does them on. Okay, that was my question. Okay,
one divination for both, because you got to think of what Shawn said earlier. They share a soul in their tradition, so it's one divination for both. So people, I don't know if people have seen me interact with red pill and blue pill, and regardless of whether I agree with what they teach or what they don't teach, I always give them $1 when I see them. And people that have seen that probably may have thought it was their birthday or something. No, it's not their birthday. It's just an Ifa custom to give twins $1 when you see them. It's kind of like a blessing, because twins are so highly regarded. It's just something that Nigerians do. So that's the reason why I do that. If anybody's ever seen me do that, that's why. You talked about Egbé and Abiku earlier, and I really want to drive this point home, because although Egbé and Ebeji are different, it's still a concept of twinning. So I just want to distinguish the two. Ebeji is basically when a woman has two twins. Egbé is a concept that everyone has. Everyone in Ifa culture has an Egbé. Now, this word is used 3 different ways. One, Egbé is a spiritual family, kind of like a fraternity on earth. So, like if you're an alpha, that would be your Egbé, just paraphrasing. Egbé is also a spiritual family in the ancestor realm. So, in the ancestor realm, according to their mythology, there are families in the ancestor realm. So, when you are born, and they say when you meet someone and you just have that connection, they may be of your spiritual family, your Egbé. The last version is what we're talking about right now, and Egbé meaning divine twin. In the mythology of Ifa, before you are born, you exist as energy in the ancestor realm. When you go before Aludamare, you negotiate your destiny and your Ori with Aludamare. Egbé is responsible for writing down everything that you said that you wanted to do and you agreed upon. At the formation of your Ori, there are two souls that are born. One of them goes to Earth, or what we call Ikole I. One of them stays in the ancestors' realm, what we call Ikole Orun. So the version of you that stays in the Ikole Orun is called Egbé, and is the energy responsible for keeping you on your destiny and keeping you within good character. So they say Egbés are the opposite of what you are, not in personality, but in makeup. So we're all males on this panel. We have a little female girl Egbés, according to Ifa. So Egbé, although it's not very big in the United States, all the Egbé priests that you will meet, they are either in Africa or probably traveled to Africa or Cuba to get the initiation. Egbé is just like Orisha in the, so to speak, that you can get initiated into Egbé and get an Egbé shrine and things of that nature. But as I said, it's not very big in the United States of America, but it's very big in Africa and in parts of Cuba. So Egbés are the catalyst for what you call Abikus. Abikus are children that are born to die. So remember what I was talking about. Nigeria has a high mortality rate. So they have in their mythology children that are born to die. So according to the stories, Abikus are basically children that made a pact with their Egbé that they wouldn't stay here long. So basically, when you're in the Ecolio room, you say, I just want to go check Earth out. I don't really want to stay. I'll be back at this time. Come get me.
Oh wow. See, you just told me something new with that one. That one right there. But yeah, I do know that we do choose our we choose our destiny. We choose our parents. We choose the time that we die. And I didn't know that part, that we just come if we choose to come and then die. You just told me something new with that one.
Right. So you made a pact with the other version of yourself. Come get me at this time. So that energy comes to collect, kind of like the concept of a Grim Reaper or something like that. But of course, by this time, usually, your parents love you, you love your parents. Uh, you're not trying to go nowhere. So rituals are done and celebrations and feedings and all types of other stuff are done to appease the other version of yourself. So you will not collect yourself and take you back to the old room. So that is the concept of an Abiku. And when you talked about the Ibeji carvings, this is one of the ways that people in Yoruba culture appease Egbé. They carve these carvings in very real likenesses of one of the twins or just a regular person in order to try to appease or trick your Egbé into thinking that is actually you, so he won't take that person's energy to the Ecoleo room.
Now, let me ask a question. All right, uh, according to some of the old dudes, like, okay, when we agree in front of Oleron or Odemare, which one and the same, we, like you said, we choose our Ori, we choose our destiny, we choose our life wounds, we choose, you know what I'm saying, yes, we choose just our destiny. Once we choose our destiny, once we leave the Ecole IU and come here, uh do those individuals that makes the pact with the Egbé to stay here a short period of time to come back and get him when he get here, uh do he, I mean, when he get here, she get here, does she forget? Because in the old dudes, said once we leave the Oran and we make it to the Ayak, I know I'm pronouncing it wrong, we tends to forget, or we fall, we go up under the tree of forgetful. So a lot of times we have to go through different divinations in order to acquire our destiny, because once we get here, we forget what we chose our destiny to be when we was in the Oran. Do those people that makes the pact with the Egbé, is it the same way for them?
It's the same way for everybody, whether you're an Abiku or not. So I've heard two explanations for why we don't know our destiny when we get to Earth. The number one, the first one I heard is the embryonic fluid that exists in a woman's womb washes away our memory. So that is the energy of Yemoja. So they say Yemoja takes away your memory, so you won't know your destiny coming out of the womb. The second is when you are in the womb, you are in darkness. And there's a story where Eshu blocked the road between the Ekole Orun and the Ekole I. So in this story, it's when creation of the earth was first started and people were going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And it was causing a lot of havoc and turmoil. So SU blocked the road and made it dark. So that is why we are in darkness for 9 months, according to the mythology. So that is when, while we are in darkness, we lose our memory. So I've heard those two explanations as to why we forget and need different means to remember. Now, understand, in Ifa culture, when you are a baby, when you first get born, a couple of days after that, you get divination.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are in fact a child in danger of dying early, the parents know very early in the child's development and start, to make preparation. Uh, Unfortunately, if you are an Abiku and you are in the diaspora and you had to discover your culture the way we have, this may be more of a problem because you getting a late start. So I do know, I know one Abiku, and they have to do a lot of work with her. And that's just what it is. But I hope I answered your question. But
yeah. You answered my question. Yeah. You answered my question. Then I heard one of those stories. I never did. That's my first time hearing about the embryonic fluid washing away the memory. That was a one I hadn't heard of before, but I heard of the other one that you mentioned about a shoe.
yes. and just depending on the region, the story may change. But that is the concept behind Egbé. That is the concept behind Abiku, and the energy known as Ibeji are like Brother Shawn said, is closely related to Shango. So other Orishas, if they're your head Orisha, you get initiated to those Orishas. Ebeji, because like Brother Shawn said, they are the reflection of each other. They are like their own Orishas. So they don't get initiated to Ebeji because they are Ebeji. They get initiated to Shango. The reason why is because the fire, thunder, and lightning deity is supposed to be the guardian of twins in Nigeria. So they go to Shango because of that. So you'll never see somebody that says, I'm an Ibeji priest. They'll say they're a Shango priest, and they'll probably never mention they're an Ibeji until you see the other Ibeji. And you be like, man, you ain't tell me you was a twin. You be like, oh, yeah, I have a twin brother. People don't really mention it for some reason. They just let you find out. So that's really all I had. I hope I cleared it up. With the Ebeji, it seems to be a lot of things, a lot of stories created to try to right the wrongs of the old days, and now they're celebrated. So it's something that is a big celebration. If they find out a mother is having twins, it's a big celebration. People are happy versus early in their history where people were sad because they knew one, the other, and sometimes even the mother was going to get out of there. So I'm glad that they rewrote their history. And it's good that we talk about things like this because we don't want to get into the practice of hiding certain parts of our history that are distasteful or that we don't agree with.
Yep.
We need to say the entire narrative to show that Africans are not perfect, that Africans are human, that Africans make mistakes like any other people, and that we've taken steps to correct these in later years. Everything evolves, even culture.
I was just going to mention what you were saying, which we've been reiterating all the time on the Mossi. We give you both sides of the story. We don't hide nothing. We don't give you that Africa was this great utopia, and we just give you all the great parts and don't give you the down parts. So Shawn just showed you, and I'm keep saying it because we keep showing you show after show that we give you both sides. You know what I'm saying? It's not perfect. Shawn just gave you one side of the story, being cleared up a few issues with that, dealing with the twins, early on. The same way I told you about with the Koro people putting dirt in the mouth of the youth in the Omo Valley because they was born out of wedlock. A few other incidents that we talked about in our presentation. So we give you both sides of the coin. We give you both stories.
I also want to clear up for Egbé shrines, they're fed childlike things. So candy, toys, things of that nature. Because remember, I told you they are they're childlike spirits. So we would have little girl spirits, and if our wives would have little boy spirits. Um, I thought about something else with Ebeji. You can receive Ebeji like any Orisha, or you can get initiated into the priesthood of Ebeji. So that's the two options with Ebeji. And I'm sorry, I'm thinking about Egbé. Egbé, you feed Egbé shrines childlike spirits, and you feed them toys, candy, child things, and you can get initiated into the priesthood of Egbé. and into, or you can just receive Egbé like a regular Orisha.
Oh, you got anything? Oh, went on mute. If not, man, I'm gonna hit this last slide.
You got another slide?
Yeah, I got to end the slide, man.
Oh, I thought you were done.
I know.
No, I am. I actually am done. Well, I just got the last slide, the Mossi slide.
Oh, okay then. Well, and again, y'all tune in today at 6 p.m. on the Kofi Paisa TV. Tune back in next week on the Massa Warrior Clan channel where we'll do it again. I don't know. I'm up next. We go back and forth, but I'm gonna talk to Shawn. He may be up next again, but if not, I'm already locked and loaded. For that presentation. Also be on the lookout. Shawn, what's the name of your next presentation?
The reintroduction of my art.
The reinduction of my art, which I'm ready to see that one. And then following after that one is the woman circumcision in Africa. Man, I swear y'all gonna be blown away with this presentation. And you're gonna have a better you're gonna have a better understanding. I'm gonna even shed being mouth. I'm gonna shed being mouth when I put this here.
You ain't gonna shut my mouth on that topic because I don't talk about it. I don't talk about it.
But yeah, just be on the lookout for that one. I mean, I'm gonna give you like I say, I'm gonna give you the outsider perspective, and I'm gonna give you the inside perspective on both topics. I'm gonna give you a bunch of scholarly perspective. I'm gonna give you a bunch of medical field perspectives. I'm gonna give you an anthropology perspective. I'm gonna give you so many different perspectives. So be locked and loaded for that presentation. And I guarantee people have a better understanding of what why some of these coaches did what they did. And I'm gonna get the stats. I'm gonna get the statistics and the stats. Also dealing with people dying from having circumcision. I mean, the children are dying, or even stimulation, women being stimulation. So I'm gonna be talking about the vagina and so many things with the vagina. Because I mean, we have to talk about it. We're gonna have to talk about it, and then we got to clear it up, and we got to give people understanding. Because before I did 2 presentations already dealing with it, and I only knew a little bit. But just the last few weeks, me digging and going into different things, not even just going into different things, just going into other people's cultures and understanding it. Now I have a better understanding, and even I'm gonna bring to the surface again real time of why. Oh, and I'm just gonna speak on the Pacific people. I'm gonna speak of the Bondo Society, even though I talk about the Bondo Society when I talk about the Kono, the Kissi, the Gala people, the Mende people, the Igbá people, and a few other people. But I'm on the Dogon, who is also similar. Their woman circumcision is also similar to the Kono people circumcision. But I'm gonna talk about the Kikuyu, and I'm gonna talk about this other tribe in Kenya to try to give people a better understanding, but also
right now, man.
No. I'm just trying to get people and get them an understanding on why the people did what they did and show you the effects of them not doing circumcision today. What is going on in circumcision today? Because I'm gonna have to bring it back full circle with African marriage being being the most important ceremony in Africa. Because when you talk about marriage, you're talking about procreation. So when you're talking about procreation, you talk about man and female. But I'm just trying to get people amped up. But anyway, I'm sorry. Shawn said I was gonna take the show off.
Soliloquy.
I'm done. I'm done.
The outline. The whole outline. You might as well do the presentation.
Oh my.
Right. It's gonna be interesting though, y'all. I know I know about some stuff Kofi already did. Kofi and I had a conversation about an hour long. And I think you're gonna be joined on the panel with this one, right? This the one with the
yeah, T'Challa gonna be on the panel. He's gonna go first. So he's actually he's going to talk about a few little things, and if people probably going to agree with T'Challa, people that's not really informed on a lot of the things. So, but with his presentation, at the end of his presentations, he's going to show how people go into research and be biased. So going into research about stuff that you don't know about, you going in being biased and looking for certain things, which what he did, which we already talked about. He went with a bias, and he already had
said. Kofi, the people don't know that we had this conversation about how he went into the research initially.
Didn't he talk about it last show?
Not really.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. My bad. I'm gonna be quiet.
I know. Right. I know who's not gonna be on the panel, and that's me. With no female circles.
Brother Ben, I'm telling you. Listen, Brother Ben. You don't have to be, but when just look at it. I'm
gonna tune in. I'm gonna watch. I'm not gonna be on that panel because when them sisters get fired up at you.
I'm gonna do it in a delicate way where they understand, but it's gonna clear up. Brother Ben, it's gonna clear up a lot of these outsiders. We getting information from outsiders, and I'm gonna expose. I'm gonna expose these outsiders.
Hey, Kofi, you can't give them all of that. Kofi, you can't give them all of that. You just gotta be like, you just gotta say, Brother Ben, I understand.
He's true though. It's right what he said, because I've never met a person that has got it done.
I'm gonna give you a first-hand account. I'm gonna give you a first-hand account. I'm sorry.
Kofi, calm down, Kofi. Don't give him all of that, brother. Don't give it all away.
Yeah, I'm ready to do I've never met a person though, because that's not a Yoruba or Senegambian custom. So I've never met a person. I've only read stuff online, and I never really dived that deep into it. So to be quite honest, I don't really have an opinion really formulated, because on one hand, through my Western mind, that sounds crazy, right?
Right. But
on the other hand, my priestly mind is looking at my body. And I got some what we call elas. That means scarification. So I don't want to be a hypocrite. So that's why I don't get in the conversation. And trust me, I've been invited a couple times, and I have to just bow out because I don't have the research to really formulate an intelligent opinion. So hopefully this presentation will give me some tools the next time I ask, because I bowed out of this conversation many times. I'm like, nope. Because the one time I attempted, I was talking and I had a tank top on. And for anybody that's seen me in a tank top, you can see a lot of my elas when I wear a tank top. So I noticed while I was talking, people were looking at the scar. Like, is this dude trying to talk to me about not being for scarification? And you got scars on your body? So it kind of looked kind of crazy. So I just from that point on, I was like, you know what? Let me just gather some more info before I even speak about this, man. And you know what? I wish more people would take my approach, not just on that topic, but on topics in general. If you know you ain't really dived deep into, it's okay to talk about it, but take a more inquisitive approach versus trying to act like you are an expert on the subject when you know that you probably read one book, one article, one paragraph, read something on Facebook, saw a meme, You know, things like this. You know, just know you ain't really dive deep into it. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, whatever your profession is in life, if you're a carpenter, if you're a metal workman, if you're a basketball player, a computer programmer, as much time as you put into your craft as honing that, if you know you ain't put that same energy into this topic, maybe you should be a little inquisitive versus opinionated. That's just all. That's my advice.
Yeah. I'm gonna make a lot of them look very hypocritical too, because I'm gonna show some other information on these other clinics and certain things, topics that women are doing today. And I don't see these outsiders, which, like I said, I'm gonna expose all these outsiders, and I'm gonna expose a lot of the faulty stats when we talk about the medical thing, uh, especially with the sensation, the woman not being stimulated after they have sex or the drive and stuff. So, but I'm gonna give so much, but I'm also show these other
So what
institutions
you
and these,
saying is this gonna be a 3-hour video? I might as well.
man. I'm just gonna be honest with you. In order for people to
He
get a
ain't gonna
better
be there. He ain't got 3 hours, COVID.
why?
See, what you should have done was you shouldn't have told him nothing. You should have just listened to him, let him say what he got to say, and then when he showed up, then you pull him in when you going in, and then he's like, "My brother going in."
Topic. You wasn't gonna get me. As soon as I seen that topic, I'm no. I'd have clicked on there, went to the chat room, seen that topic, click X out.
Yeah. You did that on the last time. You did do that on the last time because we had that conversation.
Out of there.
Yep. Yeah, we talked about this once in the back chat.
I get out of there. Some topics I just ain't equipped to talk about. I'm like,
It's gonna be education. I promise. I promise and I promise I ain't gonna let nobody down with it. I ain't gonna let nobody down with it. I ain't gonna be disrespectful, and I guarantee everybody that's tuning in is gonna learn, and they're gonna get both. They're gonna get the African perspective, because I'm actually, and I'm also gonna be dealing with interviews. I'm actually gonna be showing. I'm actually gonna be giving information of African people who was already interviewed. I'm also gonna be giving the stats of these faulty stats. Determine, I'm just gonna stop talking. Just tune in. I guarantee I'm not gonna let nobody down. People are gonna have a better, more understanding, a better perspective, and people gonna shut their mouth up before they open up their mouth and don't know exactly what they're talking about. And I'm saying I don't agree with certain things with circumcision, but I do agree with some of the things that they're doing, and I'm gonna prove to you what these people was talking about, especially in Sierra Leone and Liberia. Our women. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Cue the violin.
I'm gone. I ain't saying nothing.
I kept trying to tell you that, man. You can't get these people out there, man. You got to give them a little bit of, you got to give them a little taint. COVID.
A little what?
A little taint. A little pinch. You know how you get a little taint of salt.
What is a taint? What is that?
Hey, man, Granny used to tell you get a little taint, sprinkle a little taint of sugar on there. TANCH, taint. Instead of a pinch of sugar or salt, they say taint. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, let me answer.
Why did I recruit all these Southerners for the Mossi? I'm trying to figure that out. Why did I recruit all these Southerners?
Yeah, you thought I was. You thought I was. You thought I stayed overseas.
I thought you was in the islands. It's probably because the way you talk. I said, oh, English can't be his first language. You gotta speak something else. I said, Mississippi. I thought you was in St. Croix, St. Thomas, or something.
Yeah.
Oh well, go on, hit your slide, man. We don't want to make this too long.
I got you. Kofi, you gotta cut it on my screen. A good build, though, by the way.
Absolutely. Spears is flying, Pseudos is crying.
Yes, sir. Hey, shout out to the chat, man. Thanks everybody for tuning in, liking the show, sharing the show, or whatnot. This will be the conclusion of the bill. Hopefully, you'll find something in the presentation that you'll go back and review it and learn from it. So that's the reason we're doing. We're going to continue to bringing information to the forefront to educate our people and get them out of the positions that they're in, and hopefully, then we can move generations forward because we don't have to, come back and do circular arguments about things that are uh, keeping us stuck in ages where we don't need to be in. So thank y'all for tuning in, man. And you know how we always start and how we end.
For the unity and the redemption of the African world. Salute them honorable Marcus. We were not ready to listen then. They might not have been ready then. And wonder whether we are ready. Ain't no doubt about it. To listen. We ready, baby. Now. Let's go. Yeah. Black flag. Black flag. Black fist in the sky, with the side to side. It's the black flag. Come on. Black flag. Black flag. Black flag. So the rise, all eyes recognize. Black flag. Hold it high. Let it fly. Forever, Garvey would never die. On my 9 in the throne ready, let's take a ride. Cats won't fix, men don't. Choose the side. This is the bad for the Orisha. So no pain, no black power represents us. You can vote with Africa or against us. Black RPGs on the rise, all eyes don't recognize the flag fly. The red is for the blood. I got the best stock, the rest got stood. The black is for the gods, melanated.
Uh-oh.
They're elevated, holding the main charge. The green is for the cradle. Africa, everything first, the earth's navel. His Excellency put it together as a symbol of liberation. That's how we get the letters RBG. Flag fly high, flag fly high, flag fly high. Black fists in the sky, waving side to side. It's the flag fly high. Come on. Flag fly high, flag fly high, flag fly high. All these G's on the rise, all eyes don't recognize the flag fly high. The fly minds is 99. People army them no time. Out the draft on my design, we roll ready. Hard line, ain't no games with that red flag. Trip stage of that black
Flags fly high. Flags fly high. That's kind of quick there, bro.
Flag fly high, flag fly high, flag fly high. Black fists in the sky, waving side to side. It's the flag fly high. Come on. Flag fly high, flag fly high, flag fly high. All the G's on the rise, all eyes don't recognize the flag fly high. Red, 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 black, black, black. Green, all beat chill about that red, 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 black, 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 green, 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 that all beat chill about that red, 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 that black, 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 that green, 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 all beat chill about that red, 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 black, 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 green, 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 that all beat chill, baby, all beat chill, baby. Fly high, flag, fly high, flag, fly high. Shout out to all my RPGs worldwide. Doing this thing, God, this guy. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Flag fly high, flag fly high. Come on.
Hey, come on with that.
RBG's on the rise. All eyes gonna recognize. Flag fly high. Black power. Black power.
Shawn.
Unc, it's on you, Unc.
Flags fly high. We're gonna have the after party or what, man? What we gonna do, man? What you wanna do? You wanna beat up?
Hey,